Where does that rank then in terms of performances this season, Tony?
Yeah, strong. I thought they were well disciplined for most of it. Could have easily got out of hand in terms of throwing the ball around willy-nilly and trying to score off each and every play. So I thought we had to be disciplined and controlled, and I thought we showed that today. That was probably led up by Joel. I thought Joel had some fantastic touches, obviously, and finished off some great plays, but I thought he set the example by not overdoing things, and that really could have hampered us today if we had have overdone it with a lack of control. And I thought that showed good self-discipline or team discipline, and they bought into that and did a good job.
9 from 9, obviously hitting form at the right time.
We're doing okay. Yeah, we're doing okay. Today, I say wasn't our best performance overall of the season. I think it's a best score line, but you've got to take into account the opposition that we're played against today, and so we certainly won't get carried away on that. We're in good form, and we've got some young people who are getting very good experience, and we've got some more senior players who are leading them well, and we've got some senior players who will be back returning from injury soon to add to our depth of our team. It's been tested a fair bit lately, but not much has been said about that by us or anybody else, and we're coping with that too.
How did you think Toby King went, obviously with his brother making his debut a couple of weeks ago as well?
Yeah, George has got 2 up on him, but Toby did a good job there today. He was good. He just shows that we've got some fantastic young talent coming through, and he didn't look out of place at all there today, and it was a nice taster for him. He had his 18th birthday on Wednesday, so a nice birthday present for Toby and the King family. Nice way to celebrate for the 3 games between the 2 of them in the last 3 weeks. So we like the brother thing here. We've got a lot of brothers and come through the system, and must be part of our recruitment policy, I think. Once you find one, sign the other one as well. So it's paying off so far.
Sorry, you had it tough at the start of your coaching career at Huddersfield. So how do you feel for Joe Grimmer today?
Oh, it was great for me. I learned plenty of lessons, and it was a great season. Probably set me up for a fantastic career in terms of learning and learning how to cope with adversity and how to keep your team motivated. I was very privileged to go through 15 losses. I look back on it as a huge part of my career that I reflect on constantly. So very lucky I look at it, the way I look at it. For the London club, it's the lessons, and for Super League it shows you how not to get ready for a rugby league season. All they're doing is paying the price for having a handful of players at the start of the season, while the rest of us were through November and December and some of those in January. We're all settled, we're working hard, we're all honing in our skills for a long and arduous contest, and when you don't do that, or when you start the season with a handful of players only, it's did you expect anything else? Did you expect anything else other than the results that they're getting? It didn't matter who was going to coach them. It was going to be a year for relegation, and you go into the season so unprepared. Of course they were going to get their backsides kicked, and if they didn't, you'd have to look at the rest of us in the competition with the advantage that we had. So, is anybody really that surprised? It's how not to do things, and how not to, improve the standards of Super League by letting clubs in when they're so ill prepared, like London were.
But for Joey Grimmer as well, you must feel for him as a fellow coach.
No, I don't. It's we sign up for the good, bad, and the ugly, and that's part of our coaching. As I said, I went through 15. Joey's only had a handful of them. He's only been in charge for half of what they've gone through. So he's inherited a team that is suffering, but suffering because of some of the stuff off the field rather than on the field. What I will say is those young boys that are out there trying their cotton socks off every week. I was impressed by them. Most of us will have seen the scoreline last week against Wigan, and expect that Wigan just dominated. Go and have a look at the Wigan game. They were really feisty for the first 25 to 35 minutes. They were terrific last week, and we prepared as well as we could this week to get ready for a feisty team. We knew that we could get a scoreline like we did there today if we were disciplined and we tried really hard. But they're a team of tries. Those kids are out there trying their socks off, and they should be proud of what they're doing. It's the other bit that got let down. It's the other part of it, the preparation and the recruitment part of it, and having a solid off-season and being prepared for a tough contest that is we call Super League rather than mediocre league. I think they prepared for mediocre.
You talk about brothers. I mean, Joey came through Para under your brother, so obviously another sort of Smith coaching protege.
Yeah.
You got any advice for him for
Joey
next
was
season?
there when I was there. I was working at Para when he was with the junior setup, and I remember Joey, and he's come through the systems. You're right, and we'll have learned a lot, and he'll be learning even more on the run. That's what you do when you coach. You often learn through some of the hardest tests, and sometimes we don't allow some of our talented young coaches the time to learn, and through no fault of their own. And sometimes we pull the rug out from under them when they're really getting some of the best grounding they could get. But you need to identify the talent first and then support the coach, and hopefully they'll do that with Joey. They'll give him time and don't do the knee-jerk reaction that a lot of clubs do, and put the blame on the coach. Get your selections right in the first place of who you select as your coach, and then support them and see it right through. Fortunately, that's what we did at Huddersfield in my time, and first year relegation, second year undefeated, and third year we were stable, and the fourth year I was moved on. There's some messages there, and there's some messages for some other clubs. Dennis Betts has gone through some of that, and there's one or two others that I can't recall just at the moment.
Any more questions?
Done.
Nope. Thank you.